This video will teach you how to make a beginner-friendly video in Sony VEGAS Pro. You will learn how to import video and audio, basic editing, and saving and rendering your video. This video isn't meant to show you detailed special effects and intricate editing. It's better to learn the basics. For other techniques such as adding text and images, stay tuned for future videos. The first thing you want to do is make sure you have the video files, and if using audio files, you will want to have them in a convenient place to easily import them. Open VEGAS Pro and select New. There are many options here to choose from, and I wouldn't expect you to know what half of all this means. Basically, the option you choose here will affect the outcome of the video, with the main focus being resolution. As a tip, the higher the resolution, the more demanding this program will be on your PC. If you have a better processor, a better GPU, and so on, you should be just fine choosing these higher 4K options. If you aren't sure of your PC specs or don't care for 4K resolution, you'll be more than fine choosing these 1080 or 720 options. So select one and click OK. Welcome to the VEGAS Pro interface. This black screen is the preview window. You can make it bigger or smaller by clicking on the line between the preview screen and the timeline and dragging it up or down. You can change the preview quality by clicking on the button up here. Again, depending on the hardware, the higher quality you choose will demand more from your PC. This here is the timeline where you will be doing the majority of the work. First, you're going to want some files here to work with, video or audio. To add media to the timeline, you can go to File and select Import, click on Media, and browse through this finder to find the folder you put your files in, and click on it. A new section will be created that holds all the imported files. You can then simply click, hold, and drag it to the timeline. Now, a much easier way is to simply click and drag a piece of media into the VEGAS icon, like this, and then drop it into the timeline. If the video has audio, 2 rows will generate in this timeline, one for video, one for audio, and they are linked together. Keep in mind, the more you have on this timeline, again, the more demanding the program will become. Okay, you have a video to edit now. You can drag it on the timeline. Adjust the size by grabbing either end and going left or right. This will delete parts of the video, but you can drag it back to get that deleted part. You can change the opacity by clicking the top of the file and dragging it down and up. You can fade in or out by clicking on the top corners and dragging left or right. These are 3 very important but basic functions to keep in mind. Right-clicking on a file will bring up a menu. You can copy, cut, and so forth, and split. A much easier way, though, is to simply choose a part of the video you want to split into 2, click it, and then press the S button on your keyboard. The file is split into 2, but you can still drag them out to recover those missing parts. You can delete parts you don't want by selecting a file and pressing delete on your keyboard. You can drag these pieces together and they will automatically snap together to create a seamless video. If your mouse has a scroll wheel, you can use it to scroll up or down to zoom in or out, which helps to make more precise edits. With 2 or more files on the timeline, you can fade one into the other effortlessly, just like this. To adjust video size or maybe crop a video, click on this icon. Here you can adjust the size or rotate it. This will black out portions of your video, but you can fix this if you want the entire video size adjusted. Right-click on a file and click on Properties at the end of this window. Unclick Maintain Aspect Ratio and click OK. Now you can click on that cropping icon and move these lines around, and the entire video stays intact. It's just that the ratio aspect will be distorted. If the video you imported has an audio track, you'll see that it has its own separate audio track on the timeline. Any trimming you do to the video will also trim the audio, though volume levels and fading are kept separate. Now let's say you want to edit just the audio, separate from the video. Select that audio portion and press the U button on your keyboard. Now the audio and video are unlinked. What if you wanted to import separate audio? For example, maybe there's a song you want to use in your video. You could mute the audio file on your video, then import the music file the same way you do with the video. The audio files are on different tracks, but if you don't want the video's audio at all, you can unlink it using the U button and then just delete it. Then you can have that audio file up here right below the video and have more space on your timeline. And just like with videos, you can split audio, fade audio together, and so on. Okay, let's put the video and audio together. For now, you can play around with the video files, trim them, fade them, crossfade, adjust audio sounds, or even add in music, and edit that to work together to make your own personal little movie. So let's take a look at what I do here. Fade them together. Fade that in, fade it out. Looks good. It's important to save your video often in case of any unwanted crashes. Save it in a location you are familiar with. Okay, so now you want to save the video as a usable file format. For that, you want to select Render As. On the left here, under Formats, there are all sorts of options to choose from. Windows Media Video will work for you. For the best quality possible here, without getting too demanding, go with the 1080 30p. By default, the entire timeline will be rendered into a file, so make sure you don't have any stray sections that are maybe way down here. Another way to render a video is to select what you want finalized. Use these yellow markers up above the timeline, adjusting the size and moving it on the timeline. All the areas in the bluish section will be saved. Go to Render Options and select Render Loop Region Only. Keep in mind, this process of rendering a video can take a while, depending on the length of it, how many pieces of media you are editing, and again, of course, your PC's hardware. Okay, so that's how you make a simple video in VEGAS Pro, but that is just scratching the surface of what this program has to offer. So please check back for more videos on editing with VEGAS Pro. Thanks for watching.